Okay, so here it is, everyone, my first list video. We'll be going through my top 5 RPGs from the original PlayStation. I've been putting this off for a while because we all know the deal with lists. They're overdone, they're always wrong, and they usually result in people being so mean in the comment section that the person that made can spend days crying into their pillow while cuddling their Dragon Ball Z plushies. But I do that after every video I make, so it should be just fine for me. A few things about the list. I'm limiting myself to one game per franchise, and only games that I've spent extensive time playing. So that when you get angry that I left out your favorite PS1 RPG, it's likely because I never played the game. Or, oh, maybe you are right. Maybe I did just leave it out on purpose because I don't like you. And because I'm a terrible person. And if that's how you feel, let me know in the comments, that way I can tell you how right you are. Anyways, it doesn't really matter because when it comes down to it, I have no problem letting you know that your opinion is garbage, and I don't care how many times you want to tell me otherwise, Karen, you're not talking to my manager. Calm down. Anyways, let's take a look at my list, not yours, my list, top 5 favorite PlayStation era RPGs. Let's start out this list in the best way possible, by cheating. Now, I understand that technically Lunar came out first for the Sega Saturn, but this is my list, and it was ported to the PlayStation as well, so I win. Now, released on the PlayStation in 1999 in the US, Lunar is the epitome of a classic role-playing game. It was developed by Game Arts and Japan Art Media for the Saturn, and the American PlayStation version was published by Working Designs, who put an extra effort to really put out a special package. This game came in a box with a hardback art book, a miniature cloth game map, and packaged with a CD soundtrack and a making-of disc that did focus primarily on how Working Designs put together the US version. The game's main character is Alex, who dreams of being a great adventurer, and pretty quickly decides
I'm going on an adventure!
And brings some of his friends along. They start out innocently enough before being dragged into the crosshairs of an evil magician, Galleon, who wants to become a god, and
try to take over the world!
Galleon starts out posing as an ally before showing his true colors and sending a bunch of kids on an epic quest to save the world. Now, the story is not the highest selling point though. This is a true classic JRPG. The characters are fun, and the bonds of friendship run throughout the entire narrative. Now, with animated cutscenes, heartwarming characters, a classic plot of saving the world, and an amazing soundtrack, Lunar's Silver Star Story comes in at number 5 on my list. Now we go from a game that sticks to the classic RPG format into one that boldly paves its own path. Valkyrie Profile was developed by Tri-Ace and published by Enix in 1999, which is clearly a good year for a gaming nerd like myself. The game focuses on Norse mythology, as you control the Valkyrie, Lilith, summoned by Odin to head to Midgard, to recruit human souls to join Odin's army as he prepares for
Ragnarok, the fall of Asgard, the great prophecy.
Hang on.
Valkyrie is escorted to Earth by the goddess Freya, and from there is left to her own devices. The game is broken into chapters, and instead of a traditional journey, you can focus and listen for the cries of those near death, and go to their locations to watch the final moments play out. There are also dungeons through that let you hone your skills with your new warriors before sending them on ahead to help fight the good fight. You'll get periodic check-ins to see the progress you've made, and you can customize your party to a great degree for this kind of game. It's also the only game I've ever played where the easiest mode is actually to play through the hard mode. Now, getting the best ending is really tricky, but the payoff is worth it. And the soundtrack is one of my favorites of any game I've ever played. And with this many characters recruiting use, the replay value is extremely high for this RPG, and that's why it came in at number 4 on my list.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Here I go again, breaking the rules, but as I said, it's my list and I do what I want, Mom. Also, out of every available release of the game, I do find the PlayStation version to be my personal favorite. Chrono Trigger was released in 2001 for the PlayStation as part of Final Fantasy Chronicles, packed with Final Fantasy IV by Squaresoft. This version comes with animated cutscenes from anime master himself, Akira Toriyama, in a style that will definitely make you think about something else he's done before. The game begins with a festival as red-haired Goku accidentally falls through time alongside a princess and ends up led on an epic quest throughout history, trying to save the world. But instead of an arrogant, overly chatty narcissist villain, this time you're trying to stop a world-devouring monster called Lavos, who's really just trying to survive. So I guess when you think about it, maybe Chrono is the monster for killing this innocent, beautiful creature. Anyways, you meet a cast of memorable characters throughout the history of the world and recruit them to help you save the planet. While time travel has been explored a lot in the years since, Chrono Trigger was and still is a standout RPG that has never gotten nearly enough praise for its innovations and just for how great a game it is. It's almost as if Squaresoft has some other huge franchise that they put all their focus on or something. Anyways, while I'm thinking about this game, since I really don't I don't even know how to start here, I've got an idea.
Hello?
Hey Mike, how's it going? Would you like to do a full review of Chrono Trigger with me sometime? Clothing optional.
Sure!
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sometime soon we'll have to get together on this project. It'll be huge!
Nope.
And here we are with another game developed by Tri-Ace, published by Enix, and released in North America in 1999. Apparently there's a bit of a trend here. Star Ocean's second story is, well, the second game in the series, and as an epic adventure, it knocks it out of the park. There are over 80 possible endings to this game that you can play through with 2 different main characters, giving it a ton of replay value. The main characters are Claude and Rena. If you choose Rena, the game begins with you in the forest where Claude crash lands and seems to fulfill a prophecy. If you play as Claude, you start out on a strange planet in a search team before touching things that you aren't supposed to and finding yourself blasted
into the end.
Either way, you end up trying to save the planet called Expel as Claude tries to figure out how he's going to get home. The world ends up being destroyed and you are sent back into the unknown. No, into a planet called Energy by the 10 Wise Men. After multiple battles traversing 2 planets, your party ends up confronting and defeating the 10 Wise Men before going into one of the many possible endings. Now, without going into any real detail here, the game also has a really rich crafting mechanic, letting you create special foods, weapons, and other items to help you along the way. I'd say more, but this is a game that I really, really want to review in the future. But we'll say this, if you haven't played this game, do yourself a favor, find it, and give Star Ocean Second Story a try. What else could possibly top this list? Final Fantasy VII is the first game that I played in the series, released in 1997 by Squaresoft, and it's one of the most prolific games in the genre. You play as Cloud Strife, a soldier who was a member of Soldier, nothing redundant going on there, and as a reluctant member of the eco-terrorist group Avalanche. You're fighting the Shinra Power Company to try and save the planet before realizing that the real enemy is another lunatic soldier legend who wants to destroy the planet to become a god. The game plays with the theme of death and has one of the most well-known death scenes in the video game history. After Shinra becomes basically irrelevant, Cloud and company end up going on a confrontation with Sephiroth, who has already begun transforming into Final Fantasy VII has some of the most memorable locations and characters from the entire Final Fantasy series, and even further, some of those memorable moments in video game history. There's so much more that can be said about this game, but I feel like I've gone on long enough. If you haven't played this, get out from under the rock you're living under, quit watching this video, and please do yourself a favor and play Final Fantasy VII. So there you have it, my top 5 PlayStation era RPGs. Please drop your top 5 in the comments, and if I haven't played them already, I'll almost certainly give them a look. Also, feel free to let me know how wrong you think I am, and what an idiot you think I am for making such a terrible list. Either way, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for watching.